What you see is what you saw is the absolute baseline of natural law. Whether you look at historical figures, generational bloodlines, or daily human interactions, the return circuit always completes itself. Energy sent out along a specific wire travels down that wire and comes back to the source, amplified. Below are distinct levels where karma and the law of reciprocity play out in undeniable real-time detail. 1. Historical and political level. The external harvest. When individuals operating on a grand scale use deceit, violence, or ruthless ambition to build power, the energy they generate creates a turbulent environment that eventually swallows them. Julius Caesar, the harvest of total dominance. What was sown? Caesar dismantled the Roman Republic's political safeguards through military force, raw ambition, and personal autocratic rule, bypassing traditional counsel and concentrating absolute power in himself. What returned? By destroying the balance of power and ruling by personal decree, he created an environment built on paranoia, conspiracy, and betrayal. The exact political violence he normalized came right back to him on the Ides of March, delivered by the very senators he sought to dominate. Napoleon Bonaparte, the law of overreach. What was sown? Driven by unyielding momentum, Napoleon relentlessly expanded his empire, treating surrounding nations as subordinate assets and ignoring the natural limits of geography and human supply chains, most notably in his invasion of Russia. What returned? The friction and resentment generated across Europe forged an unprecedented coalition against him. The same relentless momentum that built his army led directly to his complete isolation, ultimate defeat at Waterloo, and exile on a barren island. 2. Generational and family level. The bloodline mirror. In family structures, reciprocity works like a direct mirror. A parent cannot sow chaos or silence and expect to harvest order and openness. Unhandled parental energy. Daily observation by child. Reenactment at age 20 to 25. Plus, direct reciprocal return circuit. Plus, the explosive father, sowing noise versus harvesting distrust. What was sown? A father handles internal pressure by shouting, slamming doors, or dominating conversations. He never apologizes, hides behind authority, and shuts down any open dialogue from his sons. What returned? When his sons reach 20 or 25, the father is shocked to find they either refuse to call him, match his rage with cold disrespect, or cut him off entirely. He sowed intimidation. He harvested isolation. What he sees in his empty living room today is what he sowed into their young minds for decades. The grounded elder, sowing space versus harvesting loyalty. What was sown? An elder sits through a young family member's mistakes without panicking, insulting them, or walking away. He acts as a steady grounding rod, telling the raw truth while holding the line open for hours. What returned? Years later, when that younger person faces a life-or-death crisis or hits rock bottom, they don't hide. They seek out that elder. The elder sowed steady, unshakable presence and harvested absolute trust when it mattered most. 3. Personal and workplace level. The daily circuit. In everyday work and personal relationships, small daily actions compound into an inescapable baseline. The credit stealer, sowing deceit in the workplace. What was sown? A worker constantly manipulates situations to take credit for his team's manual labor while passing blame downward whenever a deadline is missed. What returned? He may win a temporary promotion, but he builds a high-friction environment. When a major operational crisis hits, nobody steps up to cover his back. His team lets him sink under the weight of his own incompetence. The atmosphere of sabotage he cultivated turns inward and destroys his career. The reliable laborer, sowing execution and respect. What was sown? A man steps onto the job site every day focused on execution, keeping his word, doing clean work, and offering grounded perspective to struggling co-workers without asking for applause. What returned? When tough economic times hit or layoffs begin, management and crew members alike fight to keep him on the payroll. His reputation precedes him. The value and stability he put into the circuit returns as job security and unshakable community respect. The universal rule: you cannot plant thorns and expect to harvest grapes. If a man looks at his life, his family, or his work today and doesn't like what is standing in front of him, he has to stop arguing with the harvest. The only way to change the return circuit tomorrow is to change the frequency of the seed being planted right now.